Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time of day it is, whatever you're doing, whatever you're manifesting for yourself. I hope you're having a great time, manifesting the shit out of some abundance, feeling really good. I haven't done a live in a really long time. I've been super busy and doing a ton of different things, but today I wanted to talk about something super probably relevant to a lot of people. It's even relevant to me, and it is when you have the realization that maybe you've been manifesting or creating for yourself situations that you don't like and that you don't want to have happen, and you get that realization oh, I've created this for myself. How do I get out of that? And you may not even realize that you have created it for yourself yet. And if that's the case, then I'm going to hopefully help you guys realize how you're creating things. So we all know that in this life, in this universe, we are creating all the time. We are constantly creating. We are extensions of source. We are always expanding, always growing. And we're always going to attract the energy of what we are, not what we want. So the things that you are putting out, you are going to have reflected back to you. Like you are the radio tower, and your reality is the radio that's going to tune to what you're putting out, and it's going to be reflected back to you. So that's really important to remember. And when it comes to this topic of I have created something I don't like, it can be hard because you have to take ownership of your reality. You have to take ownership that maybe you did create it. You have to take ownership that maybe you focused on something a little too long and that's why now it's coming into your life. However, this happens, and taking ownership of it and laughing at yourself for it instead of beating yourself up for it is a really good way to realize it and change. So yeah, don't be afraid. If you realize that you have created some not so ideal situations for yourself that kind of keep building and growing, laugh at yourself. It's really not the end of the world, and once you become aware of it, you can change it. This has happened to me recently, where I have realized that I created stuff that I don't want to necessarily go through, and I realized oh, I've been creating that because I've been focusing on it, and I've been expecting it, and it's been building, and it's been going into other people, and yeah, so that's what I've realized for myself. So there are some questions you want to ask yourself when you realize that you are not living through the best situations that you want to be going through. Maybe you have manifested drama or a lot of lack or poor health or something like that. Hopefully these questions will help you get yourself on the right track to how to fix that. So one question that you want to ask yourself when you are going through this is, what am I thinking when I wake up in the morning? This is a big one for me. I noticed that the thoughts that I think when I'm getting ready in the morning have a big impact on my day. When I'm not feeling so hot, when I'm thinking about maybe the day before or something that happened a couple weeks ago, or if someone pops into my head that I had an issue with, it builds. It totally builds. And that's why in the morning, it's really, really important to take advantage of what you are thinking about. If you can take some time to just be grateful, or to really center yourself, or to think of something that would make you feel really good, listen to really feel good music, whatever, it's going to change the course of your day. Your morning is really important, really important. For me, I notice that when I'm brushing my teeth and putting my makeup on, looking in the mirror, I will notice that those thoughts have that's when the things that I'm thinking, a monkey mind, really start building. And it can either be in a really positive, really skyrocketing into the vortex, or it can be the other way around. I have to be honest with myself, and sometimes I am not consciously creating the best things for me. And once I realize that, I can start changing it. So you want to ask yourself, what are you thinking when you wake up in the morning? And if it's not super positive, see if you can find ways to implement positivity in your morning, whether you are writing affirmations down in your house to see, whether you're putting on a song that makes you feel really, really good, whether you're waking up and thinking of 5 things you're grateful for before you get out of bed. It doesn't matter, but utilize that first 5 to 20 minutes of your day to really set the stage for what you are creating. Another question you want to ask yourself, big one, is what am I expecting for myself and what am I expecting for my reality? Expectation is a very powerful energy because when you expect more of what you have, you get into this frequency, or like you are putting out like, this is what I have, this is what I have, this is what I have, when you're expecting it, whether it's I have a lot of drama, I have a lot of love, I have a lot of money, I have a lot of fear. When you are expecting that to build and grow, and like if you had something not so good happen yesterday and because of it you expect something not so good to happen today, that's it's going to build on itself, and you're going to find that maybe yesterday one person had something happen. Like, it doesn't even necessarily have to be directly to you, it can be people around you, and it can just really like drain your energy. And you may notice that like one person has like a really like bad day and they're really angry. Maybe they're angry towards you, maybe they're sad, and you have to take it on, and you focus on that and you expect it to kind of be there the next day, and then the next day, not only do they have that like sad, angry, frustrated energy, but another person comes into your life who does too. Or another person in your life shifts to that as well. Hopefully that makes sense, but expectation is big. Expect things every day to be very good for you, to like build for you, to expand in really positive ways, to unfold in very positive ways, because if you don't expect it, you're going to find a lot harder time having it happen. You also want to ask yourself, am I being overtaken by my circumstances? Am I putting too much attention in what is happening around me and not paying attention to what's happening inside of me? This is where I get tripped up. This is where I got tripped up within the last like week. I let so much outside stimulation, so much outside stuff weigh me down. And I wasn't taking the time to check in with myself. And the second that I realized that things that I was expecting for my reality and things that I was focusing on were happening not only inside but outside, they were starting inside and then they were being reflected back to me from the outside. The second I realized that, I was like, oh my God, gotta pump the brakes, gotta stop what I'm doing, and I have to change what I'm doing, because it's almost like a light bulb went off, and I realized like, oh my God, the stuff that I may not want to have happen is happening because I'm focusing on it so much and I'm talking about it so much and I'm like worrying about it, when I could be flipping the script completely, and I could be, sitting in gratitude for the things that I have. I could be visualizing. I could just be meditating. So you have to remember that you are creating from the inside out. So taking time to check in with inside, being strong inside, being positive inside, paying attention to your vibration, paying attention to if you're in the vortex, and if you're not, how you can get back into it. That is going to be very, very big on changing what's happening outside of you. And then another thing to ask yourself when these circumstances come up is, am I paying attention to what is coming up for me? Like the issues, the blocks, the lessons, the beliefs that may be blocking you. Am I paying attention to them? Because if you're not, they're going to probably keep coming up again and again and again. We just had Mercury retrograde, so a lot of people are dealing with like shadow self stuff coming to the surface. But when you are going through something with another person or like in a situation and you are starting to feel bad, see if there's a belief for you that's coming up that you might need to change, that's being triggered. You could have a belief that you're not worthy of love, that you are not worthy of perfect health, that you're not worthy of abundance and money, that these things come very, very difficult to you and you have to work very hard at them. If those are beliefs that you have, those are situations you're going to attract to yourself. So you want to kind of notice if that's coming up for you. Don't get mad at yourself if it does. If anything, be happy that these blocks are coming up, because once you are aware of them, You can move past them. And if you're not aware of them, you can't. So being aware of what is blocking you and being aware of what comes up for you in any of these situations is a very good way to move through them. Like, for me, recently, I have had a huge change and in my life, which like a positive change, all in all, a positive change, but it's a big shift for me, and I kind of had to change a lot of the things that I was doing, and I was very used to routine and very used to certain things, and now that I don't have that, it kind of sent me on a little like tailspin of like, my life isn't good, blah, blah, blah. Maybe not my life isn't good, like I know my life is really good, but I got into a negative state, and I was there for a while. I was there for a few days, and it happens. And what I had to realize for myself, what I had to realize was coming up for me was that I didn't realize that I had the power. And for me, one of my beliefs that comes up that blocks me is the belief that I don't have control over my own life and the belief that I don't have control over my own time. So it started like at home, and then it came and then I created it in the workplace because more work came in, and it just kind of like spiraled. And then when I started to slowly like realize that I was creating this for myself, realize that belief was coming up, I was able to remind myself, like, I'm the only one who does have control. I'm the only one who can change these things. And why would I focus on the stuff that doesn't make me feel good when I could be focusing on literally anything else that makes me feel a little bit better? Why wouldn't I do that? So some ways that you can kind of flip the script when you realize that you're not creating the best things for yourself, gratitude is big. Gratitude and meditation are my two biggest things that I go to when I realize I need to up my vibration. In sitting in meditation and slowing yourself down, you are taking the resistance away, and you are giving yourself the opportunity to raise your vibration and to get back into your groove, kind of. And then if you couple that with gratitude right afterwards, your vibration is going to go through the roof, because you are sitting in a state of being thankful and telling the universe, like, I have these amazing things, and reminding yourself of the amazing things that you have. So meditation and gratitude are the two biggest things that I find help me. Another thing I have to do is make sure I'm paying attention to the music and the media that I'm listening to and that I'm looking at, because if it's negative for a long period of time, if it's like whiny music, if it's sad music, if it doesn't have like a positive message, if it doesn't make me feel good when I'm listening to it, after a little while, that's going to build, and I will take that on, and odds are you guys will too. The music and the media that we look at is just as much energy as we are, so you want to pay attention to not only what you're putting into your body, like food-wise, but through your ears and through your eyes, because that's very, very important. Another fun thing to do is if you have a joyful moment, even if it's just a little bit of joy, like, let it build. Let it grow. Focus on it. Talk about it. Let it pump you up. It could be like that. Okay, so here was one of mine. A few days ago, I was at the drive-thru getting coffee with my sister, and the person in front of us had bought my coffee. So I was so excited, did the same thing for the person behind me, but I was so excited about it for 10 minutes. And my little sister was like, dude, this happens all the time. I did it for someone 2 days ago. I'm like, I know, but it's never happened to me. This is so exciting, and I got to do something for someone, and and it just exploded. So that was a very small thing, a very small joyful thing that I turned into a very big joyful thing, because it felt good. If you take those small things that feel good and let them grow, you will find that your circumstances will do more of that. You're going to be attracting more of that. Another thing that I did this morning, was a list of the things that I love. And I just wrote and wrote and wrote anything and everything that I love, from the jeans that I'm wearing, to the job that I have, to the fact that I can afford living on my own, to whatever. And I spent about 5 minutes doing it, and then I noticed like maybe 5 minutes later, I walked out of my room at work and my dad was leaving. And as he was leaving, I was like, oh, I love my dad. I love that man. He's so nice. And I was like, oh, okay. This loving energy is really growing. It's still here. Focusing on what you love is also another very good way to bring more love into your life. So anyone looking to do that, bringing more loving relationships, more love in general, focus on the things that you love because they're going to grow and they're going to be reflected back to you. So yeah, that is what I have for you guys today. And I hope that this video has helped you kind of realize what you're creating for yourself, help you realize how you can fix it, because you can. The only person that can fix your circumstances is you, because the only person who can create your circumstances is you. We're always creating from the inside out, so please, please, please remember that, and that you always have control. You always have the final say in how you feel, in how you're going to let things affect you, and in how you're ultimately going to live your life and create it for yourself. So if you guys have any questions, definitely let me know. Drop them in the comments. And if you have other videos that you want me to, like other topics you want me to record for videos, please let me know, because you guys always inspire me in the best ways and I get the best ideas from you guys all the time. And yeah, I'm really happy that I got to do this because I haven't in a while, and I hope everyone is doing really well. Tony, I'm super excited to see that you saw this or did see it at one point, and hopefully I get to post again very, very soon. And I hope you all have a lovely time manifesting for yourselves, creating for yourselves, basking in abundance, basking in joy, whatever. I love you guys, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Love and light.